So I got home today, and there's a lady at the kitchen table talking about my wife, who's sitting right here, but she doesn't want to be on camera. My wife, that is. Don't want to be on camera. She's got a little shit-eating grin smile going on right now, but she does not want to be on camera. But, you know, there were some kids at our house today. It was one of their moms. I come in and chatting, and everyone's like, oh, I'm going to give her a bottle of the CBD, you know, and she has a kid she thinks, well, she has a problem sleeping, and seizures and just different things. So we're like, you know what, let's see what, again, let's experiment. Hey, take this bottle with you, free of charge, of course, you know. But it's just, I don't know, you know, many of you should know, my wife was diagnosed with MS years ago. She went to Mexico to get stem cell therapy done, and within a couple of days, she felt like it was pretty much gone, 2-3 days, and then I'm talking years ago, never had a flare-up, never had, oh, I think it's coming back. It's like, that's it, it's gone. And so she had that issue, you know. Just I'm going to throw that in here just so you know that has happened. So tell us how this, she said just now, it's strange how sometimes things just happen. It's like, wow, the coincidence of that, just people being at the right place at the right time. She's like, you know, I was like, well, she starts talking. I'm like, let me go ahead and get the little iPad out for this one. Let me videotape this, because this is just a good video. CBD or no CBD. So go ahead and tell the story.
Okay, so she comes over and we're just talking about basic things that
now,
probably...
I'm just so you know, I'm sure everyone would like to see you right now.
No, I'm not
okay,
really.
Go ahead. She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to do it. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking about things probably two moms would talk about, you know, just basic things, talking a lot about our pets, whatever. But in the middle of a conversation with her, she gets a call from her mother-in-law, and I hear little bits and pieces of the conversation. I can understand that she has something going on in her brain. They don't know if it's a tumor. They think if it is a tumor, it's probably a benign tumor, or it could be a lesion, because she has been having some kind of symptoms like MS. And so I hear a little bit of this. And so when she gets off the phone, I said to her, first of all, she does tell me a little bit about the situation, and that's what it was. And she was telling me how her mother-in-law already has rheumatoid arthritis, and she's taking medication for that. And that as she's taking medication for that, then it can be used for the MS anyway. And she already knew that wasn't right. And anyway, she's just telling me what the doctors were saying and all this stuff. I was like, this is crazy. You're not going to believe this. You know, I'm telling her. I said, the fact that you got this call, you know, your mother-in-law very worried that she possibly has MS or this benign tumor, but they're leaning more towards it's probably a lesion, and we're thinking it might be MS. And so I told her my story about I had MS symptoms. I went to the doctor, and I'm very proactive with my health, so I was already communicating with a doctor in Mexico about my issues, and he said I could come there if I needed. So I got the results of an MRI saying I had 2 lesions in my brain on a Friday, and on Monday I was on a plane to Mexico. And I told her how I had stem cell therapy, and while I was there I had chelation therapy and high doses of vitamin C and different treatments. And I told her how I came home, and I still had a little bit of symptoms, so I did the master cleanser fast for 30 days. And afterwards, all my symptoms were gone. And it was funny because she said she was thinking about doing the master cleanser fast too. It's just a way to heal the body, whatever. So it was just crazy. The coincidences, she's like, God is good, you know, because it's, you know, like it's just, what are the chances, you know, that she just happened to be there.
And the phone rang. If the phone didn't ring, the conversation would have never come up.
Yeah, it would have never came up. And then that also did lead into the CBD oil, because I felt compelled in that moment. I went and grabbed 2 bottles. Well, first of all, she was telling me her son, as you mentioned, he actually has cerebral palsy. And so he has muscle problems, and he definitely has problems with sleep and things like this. And he's been on melatonin for years. And so between what was happening with her mother-in-law, what was happening with her son, I just got up and grabbed 2 bottles of the stuff. I knew I had to give it to her to try. And so I did one. She's going to send to her mother-in-law, and then the other one's going to be for her son. She's going to try the one for her son tonight. We'll see if it helps, which I think it will, because sleep is one of the things that's definitely known to help. But yeah, it's just I was just saying, how crazy is it that this has happened personally to me, and then she gets a call on the phone while she's here. It's just and then I was able to tell her my story and my testimony about several things, with the sleep, with the CBD oil, and with the MS. I could possibly help her mother-in-law,
Yep.
And I said, there's treatment out there, there's cures out there.
Yeah, and then I was telling her, I said, I was at work today, and I was one of the video where I'm sitting in my car with the camera. You would have seen that video. I was walking out there to do that video real quick, and I see someone pulling in the parking lot. Looks a little bit familiar. I can't really see her face. I don't recognize the car. I'm like, a person looks kind of familiar, so I'm looking at her. She gets out. She's like, "Hey, Joe, you probably don't recognize me." I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I know who that is. My friend Sean's sister, kid I grew up with. We were kids back at the old apartment days, growing up. I was his sister. Even though my wife's standing here, she doesn't mind me saying this because she knows my history, my childhood stories. But when I was like 11, 12, his sister was a few years older than us. So his sister was like, 14, 15, whatever. I'm over here like 11, 12. Well, her, the sister and all the hot friends would come over to her house. They'd put on their bathing suits and go swimming. So I'd be sitting on the couch, and I remember having like this little pillow thing. Because I didn't want them to see me like looking at them, I was a little embarrassed. But I see these girls in their bathing suits, so I had like this, not this kind of pillow, but like a couch pillow, sitting there, and I just kind of like do this where it would like kind of cover my eyes just so I could like stare at them. It was just a cute little, I was a kid. I'm about to, going through puberty, for God's sakes. But that was it. I just remember that for some reason. It's a funny story. I don't even think I ever told her that, but my buddy Sean knows it. But anyway, she's there. And it stops me from going into my car. I like just opened the door, and I'm like, "Oh, hey." So I like left the door open. I'm over there just talking to her. I'll walk over there, and she says, "Oh, I you're doing something with the CBD oil. I think, I saw your wife's because Brandy, who works with me, I got her a job there a long time ago, is Sean's wife. So, Sean's sister, Melody." She goes, "Oh, I saw Brandy's post. She was, I guess, talking with Evelyn or something, or she posted something Evelyn posted, and it had something to do which led to the CBD stuff." And she's like, "Man, I was really thinking about doing that." She's like, "I've got a son who I think and they know," she says, has a vaccine injury, and she goes, "I've got a problem with my arms right here, a little bit of pain, and I think maybe the son, or either her or the son, one of them had a sleep issue." And I'm like, "Oh God." I was like, "I brought 8 bottles to work today, because I'm going to mail some of these out to some people that have some conditions that we just want to see if it will help, And I'm like, "Hold on, let me go get a bottle." So I run inside, pull a bottle out. "Here you go, it's free of charge." And she's like, "Well, what if I want to do this too? What if it sounds like an incredible thing." I'm like, "Well, I'll text you. Text me right now, and then I'll text you back a reply with my little link." And I explained it, how it works. You can do multi-level, or you can just not do it at all, or whatever. Pick and choose. Do you just want customers, whatever. And she's like, "Oh my gosh," because I said, "I'm telling you now, you're probably going to be pretty impressed with this stuff. Especially, you got any sleep issues, they're gone. I don't know anybody that has a sleep issue so far that said CBD did not help with that." She's like, "All right, cool." So she's ready to take it. I'm like, "We'll just take a little quarter of a, dropper thing." She left, happy. I can't wait to hear from her to see if in the next day or two, did anything great happen, anything to report. But this lady, she left our house excited and like there's hope, some of the things she's dealing with, whether it's her son or her mother-in-law or whatever. And she's gonna, see if it works. So I just keep thinking, if each of these cases turns out to be either A, it helped something, maybe not both things or 3 things, but it helped something, they're probably gonna buy it again. I mean, right? It's a natural product, like, probably gonna buy it again. Not only that, they're gonna talk to other people. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all, at Cliff High Enterprise Joe, this has to be part of this. And she said it too. She's the lady who was here today. She's like, "Gosh, it's being legalized right now, and I could just see this thing like blowing up. If what you guys are saying, is like true about this, sleep and everything else. Like, I mean, I could just see everyone telling everybody about it." I said, "I know, that's what I'm saying, because everyone you give it to, they try it, they tell someone else about it." That's why I jumped on this thing as fast as I possibly could. I think this is going to be a freaking incredible ride. And at the same time, pharmaceuticals. She was a real health nut, like my wife, you know, oh, vaccine this and all that. She was actually a nurse too, by the way, yeah. But she knows all about that stuff, and it's like, you know, trying to stay healthy and find other things than pharmaceutical medicine. And sure enough, she lands at our house today for the first time. And then her phone rings about MS conversation. My wife's hearing pieces of it, knowing exactly what they're talking about. Oh, do I have a story to tell you? I heard your conversation. Listen, you know, come on. You gonna tell me that this lady accidentally showed up at my house today? This little play date with the kids just happened because, and then the rest of that conversation wasn't supposed to happen? And so yeah, I feel like this is just a worthy story to talk about. Just, you got to pay attention to things happening in your life, and especially when they make you sit back and say, "Man, what one hell of a coincidence." You know, are you a coincidence theorist? Or are you someone who recognizes, hey, a little connection was just made. There was something that was supposed to happen today, and I just recognized, I just witnessed it. I was just a part of it. It doesn't have to be CBD or anything. It could be something else in your life. You know, maybe someone with a similar religious or non-religious view as you have or something. Oh, finally I met somebody, you know. Who knows? But it's just amazing how certain people come into your life, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, I've got a story that they're going to absolutely love. They're just going to love this, because guess what? I've experienced this. And by the way, I fixed myself. Here's how I did it. What? Again, you know, life-changing things I think are about to happen. I do believe CBD is going to be a part of it. But we just got to get past this election nonsense. And I saw Trump, which I'm thinking about doing another video, honestly, about this little Trump thing. Not sure yet. I might. But Trump tweeted today, Tuesday, even with all the voter fraud in Broward, they're still not going to have enough. When's Bill Nelson going to call it quits? When's he going to concede? So I thought, son of a, again, when that man speaks, you can take it to the bank, as they say. Therefore, I fully expect that close enough, close, Democrats got close, even with the rigging, not close enough. And they still don't get it. Bill Nelson, have a nice day. Rick Scott, you got your seat. DeSantis, the governor, you got your seat. Gillum, sorry about your luck. So, we will see. And even the governor thing, honestly, the Senate part is bigger than the governor. However, if this guy Gillum becomes the governor of our state, he's already vouched to increase the business taxes and everything else, and you know, it's not going to be good. Like for the company I work for, I was talking to my boss, both bosses actually, the president and the vice president. They're like, gosh, we narrowly escaped that one. Man, that would have been not good for our company. And I'm like, I know, I hear you. And then next thing we know, there's a vote count. All of a sudden, there's a massive amount of Democratic votes coming in, but not so many Republican votes coming in. You know, of course, because of the rigging. And here they are on their, you know, tiptoes, and you know, hoping that Gillum doesn't squeak this out all of a sudden. So, anyways, just a little video for you guys. I think you appreciate this whole story. So, that's it. Take care.